How did you feel about your application process? Was it difficult, easy, long? Why did you feel this way?
I thought that it was kind of easy since I live nearby. I could just like come to the school and get help, and they would like help me through the process.
My application process was kind of a shot in the dark. I was in the middle of wrestling season my senior year of high school, and I didn't think about applying to colleges until the absolute last minute. So I was so busy with wrestling, I just remember coming home after school, after practice one time, and filling out all the applications that were free and in the area. And then I was like, well, I guess I'll go to one of those colleges. So it was really easy because I'm pretty sure it was on the Common App. So I just filled out the same application I'd be filling out for a bunch of other schools. So it was incredibly easy.
Well, for me, I had waited till the last minute, so I'm surprised I even got in. But I thought it was pretty easy.
It was pretty easy, kind of straightforward with the questions and stuff. It was kind of a long process of everything that you had to turn in, and with waiting for the school to get back to you on this stuff. And it was a lot of paperwork, but it wasn't hard at all.
I think it wasn't that long. I mean, the stuff on there was necessary, so I was like, so I just filled it out.
Okay, so the process was long and difficult because I had to do an online application process to begin with. After being screened through the online application process, I had 2 interviews. The first interview was to verify that I was eligible to meet the requirements of the programme, and the second interview related to choosing my university. So 2 representatives from the US flew over to Northern Ireland and met with me to discuss my options. Following that, I had 3 preferences, and St. Mary's was my first preference.
No, it's not difficult, and it's not too easy too, but it was middle, and I called my friend because his English is very good, so he helped me to apply this application.
Did you apply for any scholarships?
I applied for a couple, and then some were just given to me through the school.
I don't remember applying for any scholarships at this school, with the exception of coming to the Benedictine Leadership get-together thing, which I think was February my senior year of high school. Other than that, all my scholarships were, all the other scholarships I applied for were outside of school.
What do you like most about living on campus and why?
I love the community feel.
I like that it's kind of like a community environment. There's not too many people, so it's you get to know people really well around you, and that's nice.
The thing I like about living on campus is, well, because I'm nowhere near home, I'm really independent. I've had to learn how to do my own washing. I've had to learn how to get up when my alarm goes off. I've had to learn how to know when to feed myself. No, I'm joking. But apart from that the good things about living on campus is you're included in everything. Like, there's stuff always going on. There's stuff in the tub, there's stuff in Parsons, Spangler. Most of the time I'm in Parsons, I'm never even in my room. And it's just that sense of community you get by living on campus. I don't think it'd be the same if you weren't living on campus.
What I like about living on campus is you're always like a stone's throw away from anything you need to be at. So if there's something in the tub, then I can be in the tub in 2 minutes. If there's something in Harnett, I can be in Harnett in 2 minutes. It's a good experience because you can reach all the people and the things that you need to reach pretty much at any time. But I mean, that also means I put everything off to the last minute because I can just walk anywhere. So
I like the fact that I'm really close to the school and to the classroom, and I don't drive, so it's easier for me here.
Actually, I will move off campus next semester, so I lived here just for 1 semester. I really like and love this kind of stay, but I prefer to be, or I prefer to have some privacy. So that's why I will rent an apartment.
Living on campus lets you be connected with like the school and SMU, everything. That's why I like living on campus, and you're closer to like the events and you're more interact with the stuff here.
What do you dislike and why?
There's not much I can dislike. Except for the fact that no one's really social. For me, I guess. But then again, I'm not social either, so it's like a two-way street.
I don't like that there's not more to do around here. I feel like it's kind of a small town, so I feel like they should have more stuff to do for everyone. Kind of thing.
There's just too much people, yeah. A lot of people. Yeah, I don't like crowds. So.
Well, I have to clean my room by myself, so that's the only thing.
Oh.
Do my own laundry.
I think since I came here, I saw some board says there is like hours rules until 11. It will be like quiet hours, you know, but nobody follow this hours. So after 11, when I trying to sleep, I can't actually, because yeah, most of people here play music loudly. So yeah, that's what I hate is here.
That I have to walk to Old Main every day just to eat. I don't know why it has to be up on top on the hill. Like it could be in Harned or like that place by like the dorms. That's about it.
Do you recommend living on campus to first-year students?
I think for a first-year student, that's definitely the way to go. If it's not, if you're not close enough to commute, obviously. I think that it provides more of a community. I was on the Norcia floor my freshman year, so that was like an extremely good experience. I can't really speak for the other freshman halls, but I think that it was a good experience and that it put me in contact with a bunch of other people on campus. So.
I do. I don't know why, but I do.
Yeah, definitely. Just because, I mean, it'll get you ready to live on your own for one, and then you'll get more familiar with everything around the area.
I would definitely recommend living on campus to incoming students, because I think it's imperative for them to live on campus to get to know their fellow students in their classes.
Yeah. As a freshman, yeah.
Why?
You know, it will be for them as a first year, so it's good for them to make friends and have some relationships with others. So for first years, yeah, I recommend that. But after that, they can go off campus, you know, yeah.
I think that freshmen should live on campus because your experience, like what it's like to dorm and what it's like to be interact and just be here, and because you're gonna miss out a lot of stuff.
What do you like about living off campus and why?
I like not having to pay the super high cost of living on campus and being able to go home to my own bed and not have to share bathrooms, because that would make me really uncomfortable.
On the drive here, I like reflecting on what I'm going to do today, or like what should I do today. Yeah, like a to-do list before school or after school.
So the benefits of living off campus are I get to see my family, which is kind of nice. I get a home-cooked meal, and sometimes it's nice to just get away from everything and come home and relax.
What do you dislike and why?
Not feeling super connected to the school. Like I'm connected, but not super connected.
It's a little bit harder to make social connections and be involved with everything that's going on campus. Plus, it feels like I'm always in the car.
I dislike having to get up earlier in the morning than somebody just rolling out of bed and just going to class, because I have to get up like half an hour earlier than somebody living on campus would have to, so that kind of sucks.
Do you recommend living off campus to first-year students?
I don't think I'd recommend living off campus to other first-year students because it's a little bit harder to have the traditional college experience and really get involved with everything that's happening on campus.
I would say no, actually, because it kind of hinders your ability to make connections with people in the community. And so, like, I don't know very many people except for the people that, like, I met at orientation, and it's harder to get into, like, meeting new people and have new groups of friends because you're not always here.
It depends. If you live within 15 minutes, yes, but if you live like me, a half an hour, no. The drive is awful, especially when the weather gets ugly.
What do you find useful when choosing your classes?
Talking to other professors about if the teachers, like, if they recommend the teacher.
Choosing classes for me is an incredibly hectic experience. I spend hours just worrying about whether or not I'm going to get the right classes, planning out the exact credit amounts, and I'm double majoring, so I have to make sure I hit everything right on the mark, and even then I'm like, I don't know about this. So I think what I find helpful is finding somebody who knows what they're talking about and getting them to help you out with your classes. Have your advisor check your stuff, have one of your teachers check your stuff, have one of your friends check your stuff twice, make sure that you're on the right track.
Just kind of go for it.
Well, I mean, you have to know what your major is. So.
But do you use any resources?
Yeah, I did. There's a link on the school website that kind of gives you an idea of what all the classes will be and kind of what you'll be going over in each one. So that was useful.
What is one thing you regret doing or not doing, and why?
Okay, so one thing I do regret doing is not committing to a major earlier. I went in for English, now I'm doing English and religious studies. And if I would have gotten my crap together my freshman year, I would be less stressed out on getting the right classes at the right time, because I'd have more, I'd have finished more classes by now. One thing I don't regret doing is my sophomore year going back home, living at home and going to community college and finishing up my general education requirements. It's a lot of money to be here, and I can't afford to spend that money taking History 101. Sorry, History 101 professors, but that was a lot cheaper, so.
I regret not knowing what I want to do, like what major I should be in, because you have to decide by the end of sophomore year, but at the same time you're wasting 2 years finding out, which, like, I don't know what I want to do.
I'd say not participating in some of the campus ministry stuff.
Like being more a part of it. I signed up for clubs and I just want to be more part of the club. It's just being planning and scheduling that I need to figure it out.
Would you change anything about your college experience? If so, what and why?
I would not have come here my freshman year. I would have finished all my gen ed requirements and then showed up, saved myself a bunch of money and a bunch of time. But at the same time, my freshman year was a great year, so I can't honestly say I would sacrifice that. So
I could change an experience living on campus, definitely. I would love to live on campus.
What is one piece of advice that you would like to give incoming freshmen?
I would tell people to come to orientation prepared to meet new people and be excited about it, because when I came I didn't want to be here, so I was super grumpy and people thought that I was like really mean, and so they didn't want to have anything to do with me. And so I would just say come prepared to meet new people and actually have fun, because it's actually a lot of fun, and I was surprised about that. So yeah.
My advice would be do not be like me. go to your classes, which I'm good at, but then do your homework, do your essays, study for your tests. I mean, I've gotten nothing but decent grades my entire time in college, but I've been pulling my hair out frantically the last couple minutes before I need to have an assignment in because of that. So your professors will usually give you assignments well ahead of time, finish those well ahead of time.
What advice is time management, because you're gonna need that with all your classes and social life. You're gonna have social, but at the same time you have to know when to say no and when to not say no. And study comes first. Even though you have 4 classes a day, it's super overwhelming.
Be active in all the activities, not only classes, but you try volunteer, so you're gonna learn from it.
Find a study spot, one spot that you'll definitely enjoy studying in.
One piece of advice I'd like to give to any incoming freshman is definitely get involved in all the activities that's on campus. And also play intramural sports, brilliant crack.
Be patient, be smile, try to make friends with others, even if they refuse that, but maybe because they didn't know others very well, so try to make friends with them and insist for that. Yeah.
To definitely make sure you stay on top of your work and use the resources as far as tutoring and stuff like that in the library, because they help a lot.
One piece of advice I would give is to have a balance of social and academics, because if you focus on socializing, then your grades will fail, your grades will suffer. But if you focus on more academics, then you'll miss the other opportunities to interact with other students.
Who did I look at? I look at you, or did I look at you?
No, just stop.
The application process.
Yeah, application, but I'm just confused when I see the camera.
Are you still? Don't be putting this in.
I really have to think about this.
And don't put that in the thing.
I can't look at you.
And I remember I had Borowski's class in the morning. It was a good class. It's a great teacher. Very handsome, well dressed.
Are you getting my guitar?
What is? I can't even handle this.
Shit, I need to do this again. I'm still gonna say don't be like me.
One time we walked in the same way. I looked at
You can just put a video of me singing in after or something.
Oh, really?
The show at the everyone.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.